Hydraulic fracturing is a well stimulation technique in which rock is fractured by a pressurized liquid. The process involves the high-pressure injection of fracking fluid into a web or to create cracks in the deep rock formations through which natural gas, petroleum, and brine will flow more freely. When the hydraulic pressure is removed from the well, small grains of hydraulic fracturing proponents hold the fractures open. Natural gas is a naturally occurring hydrocarbon gas mixture consisting of higher alkanes and sometimes a small percent of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and helium. It is formed when layers of decomposing plant and animal matter are exposed to intense heat and pressure under the surface of the earth over millions of years. The energy that the plants originally obtained from the sun is then stored in the form of chemical bonds in the gas. Natural gas is used as a source of energy for heating, cooking, and electricity generation. It is also used as fuel for vehicles and as a chemical feedstock in the manufacture of plastic. Natural gas was first used by the Chinese in about 500 BCE. They were the first to discover a way to transport gas seeping from the ground by using bamboo pipelines. Naturally occurring natural gas was discovered and identified in America as early as 1626, when French explorers discovered natives igniting gases that were seeping into and around Lake Erie. In 1821, a man by the name of William Hart dug the first successful natural gas well in the U.S. in Fredonia, New York. Just a few years later, the first use of crude pipelines for gas commenced at Fredonia in 1825. The first hydraulic fracturing was carried out in the Soviet Union in 1952. Other countries in Europe and Northern Africa shortly after subsequently employed hydraulic fracturing techniques, including Norway, Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia. Over the past decade, the biggest story in U.S. energy sector has been hydraulic fracturing. This drilling technique has enabled oil and gas producers to increase oil and gas production inside the U.S. Media pundits have claimed that this form of oil and gas extraction is a technological breakthrough which has enabled the U.S. to become the world's largest oil and gas producer, and will enable the U.S. to become energy independent by the year 2020. However, hydraulic fracturing has become extremely controversial in many countries. Its proponents advocate the economic benefits of more extensively accessible hydrocarbons. Opponents argue that these are outweighed by the potential environmental impacts, which include risk of ground and surface water contamination, air and noise pollution, and the triggering of earthquakes, along with the consequential hazards to public health and the environment. For these reasons, hydraulic fracturing is under international scrutiny, restricted in some countries and banned altogether in others. One of the main chemicals used in the fracking process is methane, and it is estimated that 4% escapes into the atmosphere during extraction. Because methane is 25 times stronger than carbon dioxide in terms of trapping heat, the release of this gas is detrimental to the air quality of surrounding fracking sites. Additionally, the ancillary components of fracking directly increase air pollution at well sites. These include the pollutants released from new construction and subsequent operation of fracking locations, the increased emissions from transporting oil and gas from the site, in addition to waste disposal and storage. Pollutants increase the production and long-term lingering of smog, which decreases the availability of clean air for workers and local residents. Also, millions of gallons of water are used in the fracking process, which directly reduces the amount of clean water available to surrounding residents. When water is not available to fracking sites locally, it may be transported from other regions, ultimately drawing down available water from lakes and rivers across the country. Water contamination could also reduce the overall water supply of regional fracking areas, as the chemicals that are used in the process have the propensity to leak back into local water supplies. Wastewater is also an issue at fracking sites. Between 20 and 40% of the water used for fracking that is returned to the ground surface consists of toxic contaminants. The presence of wastewater has harmful ramifications on the environment, as it cannot be easily treated and returned to usable water for purposes other than fracking.